African safaris are a magnificent experience where we can observe wild animals from a safe place. But when something goes wrong, this magnificent experience can turn into something truly terrifying. Today, we'll take a look at those moments. If you've got your tea or coffee ready, let's get started. A tourist decided to go on a safari and was about to experience the most tense moment of their life. Photographer Peter Hest was leading the tourist group and had managed to capture some of the best photos of his life. The tour had stopped. They ate lunch next to a group of cheetahs, and while watching the animals, they noticed that some of the cheetahs were interested in the trees moving directly toward the tourists. One of the cheetahs jumped onto the hood of a vehicle, and the guide said this was a fairly common occurrence. Big cats were looking for a high spot to get a better view of their surroundings. What happened next was truly extraordinary. Another cheetah suddenly jumped through the window and went to the back of the car. The tourist managed to stay still and keep calm while taking a photo with the cheetah. A group of tourists was witnessing something extraordinary on safari. Buffalo was surrounded by lions and was about to be devoured. It was putting up a relentless fight against 4 lions, never giving up. The buffalo tried everything to fight back, from spinning around to running back and forth. Finally, in a panic, it tried to shake off the predator from its back and ended up headbutting the side of a safari jeep. Unfortunately, the lions didn't let go, and its end was likely grim. Another group of tourists wanted to get close-up shots of lions resting in the sun. The lions seemed accustomed to humans because they weren't bothered at all. One female lion slowly approached and opened the door handle with her mouth.
I know. Just lock the door. Oh my gosh, I didn't know they could do that.
The women managed to shut the car door quickly. If they hadn't done it in time, we'd be watching something very different. They're laughing, but they definitely learned a valuable lesson about keeping their heads on lockdown. A female lion is seen staring at a group of safari rangers armed with rifles. They're unable to move out of fear of being attacked. One of the rangers tells the other to stay still if the lion attacks, fearing what the predator might do. The best way to deal with an aggressive lion is to avoid provoking it. Slowly back away without turning your back and make yourself appear larger.
Stand or walk.
Despite everything, the animal stays put, probably because its territory has been encroached upon.
Okay, turn off the cameras now.
The video ends here, and what happened next is unknown. The next terrifying animal encounter begins with a man recording himself being stalked by a hungry mountain lion. The man backs away slowly, aiming his weapon directly at the predator in case it decides to pounce. In the end, the animal chooses to leave the man unharmed. During a safari trip, a tourist records a lion revealing itself among the large trees, unsettling the tourists in the process. After the lion displays its unchained self, one of the guides quickly approaches the predator, and the situation unfolds. It turns out the lion and the guide have been doing this routine for a while. Later, it's revealed that these lions were raised in captivity. However, this doesn't make the encounter any less frightening. Captive lions can still exhibit aggressive behavior because their instincts and temperament persist despite their living conditions. Thankfully, the tourists and the guide escaped this scary encounter unscathed. Seeing elephants in their natural habitat is an incredibly exciting thing for everyone. This German tourist group was thrilled when a herd of elephants crossed their path while passing through South Africa's Kruger National Park. Then they saw 2 male elephants separate from the group and behave aggressively toward each other. They were pretty sure they were about to witness an elephant fight. But suddenly, one of the elephants notices the vehicle, and the 5-ton colossal creature stops right next to the car. The strength and power of an elephant's tusk are more than enough to cause serious damage to anything in its way. In this case, the car's window was shattered, but the tourists were incredibly lucky to escape the incident unharmed. The real question here is why a woman took a gorilla on her honeymoon. Actually, the gorilla was part of the honeymoon safari's entertainment. From the angry-looking giant gorilla beating its chest, you're probably thinking something's about to go wrong. Male gorillas do this, and it's usually a sign that something has upset them. They typically warn before attacking outright. It's acting a bit sensitive, but it could have been much worse. The woman came through unscathed, but it could have gone the other way. A man who jumped into a lion enclosure had to defend himself against the wild lions inside with nothing in his hands. This video suggests the man was under the influence of some kind of stimulant, which impaired his decision-making skills and led to these scenes. Zoo officials and law enforcement stepped in and tried to rescue the man. During the rescue, they used tranquilizers on the lion to ensure safety. However, an unexpected event occurs that causes everyone to scream.
They resort to the fire hose, and it's up to the men with the blowguns to bring the cats down.
They managed to save the man, and he was later taken to a psychiatric facility. A group of tourists set out to meet a famous lion tamer and experience the adventure of a lifetime during their journey.
Hey, buddy. Hi, Sealy. Give it another try, buddy. Yep, there we go. Is that it? Good.
The encounter was beautiful but frightening. The lion caused significant damage to their vehicles, and the encounter ended with them driving away and losing the lion.
Oh, he is on to us, eh? That is an angry male. Awesome. You crazy up?
Your side. That thing leaned on the window.
This angry giraffe has something to say and is chasing a car like crazy. These wild animals are massive and can deliver a kick with a single blow that could kill you. The laughter of the tourists visiting Masai Mara was soon replaced by prayers. Though giraffes may seem large and clumsy, they can run very fast, and this one gets in front of the car. Likely annoyed that its territory has been invaded, driving them out of its space. If you visit the monkeys at a safari park, one thing you can be sure of is that your vehicle will end up with some monkey-induced minor damage. That's exactly what happened when this dad drove his car into the baboon area at England's Neely Safari Park. These monkeys started messing with the windshield wipers, a classic monkey pastime. Destruction is an age-old tradition among monkeys worldwide. These baboons played with the wipers and gnawed on the mirrors, leaving the car with a bit of damage. During a safari trip, a group of tourists recording a pair of lions experienced the most terrifying moment of their lives when one of the lions decided to make a sudden move.
Alright, what are we doing?
Relax. We just want to say.
The guide immediately tells them to stay calm and abandon the vehicle as slowly as possible. Thankfully, they listened, or things could have taken a much worse turn for them. One of the first rules of a safari park is to keep your car windows closed so massive animals don't stick their heads inside or bite you. This video from West Midlands Safari Park in the UK shows us the moment a woman does something foolish. A giraffe pokes its curious head through the open window, looking for something to eat, and the woman in the car doesn't think to close the window. What do you expect to happen if you close a car window on a giraffe's head? You might not guess that the glass would shatter everywhere. The other option is the giraffe's head getting stuck in the window. A horrifying encounter begins with a couple recording a small pride of lions resting in the shade of trees. At first, everything seems to be going fine, but when the male lion decides to do something unexpected, things take a dark turn. The Jeep's driver doesn't waste a second and, realizing the animal is attacking them, starts the vehicle and drives off immediately.
We've seen enough of the lions, Thomas.
Lions are aggressive toward uninvited guests. Escaping without even a scratch is truly a miracle.
So you can see they've been fighting anyway.
Holy shit.
These people narrowly escaped a major disaster while taking a stroll near a forest in India. The video shows just how terrifying it is to be chased by a tiger. The tiger stealthily follows the vehicle and its occupants from among the trees. After a while, it seems to give up the chase. This is where the importance of camouflage really comes into play. As the safari continues, this tiger suddenly appears on the road and walks toward them. Its intent was probably just to scare them, because if it wanted to, it would have attacked already and made a meal out of one of them.
Let's
go.
That's why I told. That's why I'm just moving the vehicle. You said stop, I said no. Chalao, chalao, chalao.
This man visiting a safari park in Alexandria got far closer to wildlife than he ever expected, resulting in these hilarious outcomes. As he and his friends drove through the park, they reached the camel area. Camels know exactly what an open car window means: food. The man and his friends had a blast driving through the camels. The camels stuck their heads through the car window to reach food containers. The young guy panics and tries to escape the car. As fun as it was, it's still a dangerous encounter. Afterward, the camels follow the car throughout the trip.
Yeah, because that ostrich is like right there.
This incredible encounter shows a man trapped inside a glass cage as a small pride of lions surrounds it. The lions use their paws to strike the cage and growl at the two people inside, creating a terrifying moment. In the end, thanks to the cage's strength, they remained safe during the encounter. You shouldn't disturb some animals in their own habitats, or their behavior can become destructive. Elephants are among the most vindictive because their memories are incredibly strong. They remember everything done to them, good or bad, even your face. This elephant likely has a problem with cars or the driver. Not only does it refuse to let the car pass, but it lifts it like a toy and slams it to the ground. If the driver had insisted a bit more, the car would probably have been rendered unusable. So, friends, don't harm animals. Remember, they have lives too. This video was filmed in 2020 by two American tourists on safari in Bostana. If you encounter a hippo, the best thing to do is stay away from that creature. They're not as friendly as they look. However, this tourist group decided to stop and take a bunch of photos. At first, they thought the hippo was just threatening them, but it was dead serious about attacking. It charged at the vehicle at full speed. Hippos are stubborn. If they set their mind to attack, they'll do it.
Oh my.
This hippo managed to bite the vehicle, and it was such a big bite that it even tore off a piece of the car. Two safari jeeps are forced to stop after encountering a small pride of lions walking along the dirt road they're on. Two female lions used the jeep's shadow to shield themselves from the heat. This angers the male lion, causing it to become aggressive and act this way. After the first warning, the drivers still stay in place and refuse to flee. Lions are highly territorial animals and defend their territory fiercely against intruders, including other lions, with aggressive and violent battles. To avoid further conflict, they leave immediately after the second warning. The video starts with a group of excited tourists being taken to a lion territory by safari rangers. Rifles are visible in the rangers' hands. After finally spotting a lion, they ensure the tourists' safety. As the tourists record and photograph the animal, the safari rangers stand nearby, keeping watch and ready for an attack. They all stay still, avoiding getting too close to the predator, but the predator starts to move. The area around South Africa is home to a large number of baboons. These animals are commonly seen in this part of the country and can often be spotted wandering the roads. It's fair to say most of their food comes from encounters with people on the road. They've even started searching cars. When a car stops, they thoroughly rummage through its interior. It seems these baboons aren't just after cars, they also chase people who step outside their vehicles. Though they may seem harmless, it's still a threatening sight. While the camera roams the western savanna, it comes across a small pride of lions resting under the sunset. A few minutes later, one of the pride's female lions passes by but stops to take another look at the cameraman. After sniffing the cameraman, the lion finally leaves him alone. The student group photographing wildlife in South Africa's Kruger National Park is startled when a large lion leaps into their jeep. We all expected the lion to attack the people, but the tour guide explains that this lion was raised by humans and sees all cars as toys, telling them to relax. A big cat viewing people as playmates and being unafraid to hang out with them isn't exactly reassuring. This lion encounter begins with a male lion curiously inspecting a car full of terrified people. Kevin Richards, a well-known lion trainer, was there to shoo the male lion away from the car. Despite his repeated attempts to drive the lion off, the lion doesn't listen and, growing more curious, causes this incident to unfold. Afterward, since the lion doesn't seem likely to lose interest, he has no choice but to tell the driver to drive away. As the car moves off, it attracts the attention of more lions, making the situation even more dangerous as they give chase. Fortunately, the predators decide to leave it alone after the car gets far enough away. If you were a rhino, you'd probably feel nervous around people too, since the few rhinos left in the wild are still at risk of poaching. Their horns have long been considered valuable, even though they're made of the same material as our fingernails. So, it's not surprising that these rhinos, who seem to be protecting a young calf, attack vehicles. They know how much danger humans can pose. These animals typically weigh between 600 and 1,000 kilos, though some can reach up to 1,500 kilos. Despite all that weight, they're still powerless against humans except for attacking their cars. This tourist went on a safari in Botswana and had a close encounter with a young leopard in North Botswana's Avo Delta. The safari vehicle had stopped, and the leopard approached it curiously. The leather shoes probably caught the leopard's attention. It's a bit of a scary situation because you never know what they'll do.
He's got my shoe.